What's up, peeps? I did a introduction video to this a few weeks ago, kind of my first impression on it, and I wanted to carry it for a while and use it for a little while before I gave an actual opinion on it. And so this is what this is. This is my opinion on the Cold Steel Format Scout. Cold Steel wouldn't want me saying this, but I will say it anyway. After using this knife and handling this knife and carrying it for a little while, guys, I see absolutely no reason to spend the extra money on an actual 4MAX. Um, the 4MAX comes with what they say is a upgraded steel, being S35VN and G10 handles versus FRN. However, these are probably the best FRN handles I've ever experienced. Probably has something to do with this very hefty construction, the steel liners. It has no give. It does not feel cheap at all. This AUS 10 did come cold steel sharp. However, I've never met a factory edge that I wanted to hang around with very long. So I went ahead and I didn't change the edge angle, but I did refine the edge slightly. I sharpened it to about 1,000 grit and stropped it on 9 micron diamond emulsion that I got from EDC and Lace. She makes a excellent diamond emulsion spray for much cheaper than what you can buy diamond stropping fluids that I know of anywhere else. She has some of the best prices I've ever seen. So anyway, back to the knife, Format Scout. Guys, this is a 4-inch blade. It is very, very thick blade stock. This is a cold steel triad lock. As you can see, the thickness of that lock bar there. The reason it's um, one reason why this knife is considered hard use and heavy duty is that triad lock. It's not just a regular back lock. It has a whole extra stop pin inside there that makes the blade even more secure when it's locked up. This is an absolute beater of a knife. Would I want to slice uh, big wheels of hoop cheese with it all day? Probably not. It will cut, it will slice when needed. However, that was not the intention of this knife. It was made this overbuilt to be abused. It was made to be broken. It was made to be abused. I'm sorry, it wasn't made to be broken. It was made to be beaten. It was made to be abused. So, if you're in the market for something extremely heavy duty, something that's going to, that's going to last through the workday longer than you will, this is probably the knife for you. Now, guys, the pricing on this knife is it's all over the place. The standard price on it if you check on Amazon or most knife websites is going to run somewhere between $80 and $100. However, if you keep an eye out, you can find this on sale. Last time I saw it on sale on Amazon, it was $68. I give $57 for it on Midway USA. Midway USA is not a predominantly a knife website. However, they run some great sales on there. So that's where I picked this up. This thing does have a big, ugly, gaudy pocket clip, which works just fine. So I have no issue with it. A lot of people hate these pocket clips. I don't understand why people are so concerned with having a large pocket clip showing. I don't care what the pocket clip looks like. I don't care if other people see it. This is not a fidget knife. However, it's not fun to play with. This knife, um, I don't think they were thinking about fun or fidgeting when they were building it. They were just thinking about hard use and getting the most out of a work knife as you possibly could. The ergonomics on the handle are excellent. Even with my big 2X sausage finger hands, as you can see, I've got plenty of room left over there. That that groove they put in for the front finger is, it's not. It doesn't. How do I put it? It's not in the way. It's not uncomfortable at all. And they did provide you with a forward finger troll that takes up uh, zero. It takes up absolutely none of the blade. It just goes on the ricasso there, so you can choke up to do finer tasks if you need to. You're right there on the edge. But like I said, it didn't waste any of that 4-inch blade adding the troll. I do love a forward finger troll, so I'm glad that it's there. But I also love getting as much cutting edge for my money as possible. They accomplish both with this, so that is quite awesome. Um, Guys, if you haven't experienced a cold steel, if you've never owned a cold steel, I do believe they still are the best budget blade on the market. If you're not concerned about your knife being fancy, or you're not concerned about flip-floppity action. Um, I can appreciate those things, but they don't matter to me, especially when it comes to something like this that I'm buying to beat on. If I had to pick a pocket knife to, as old as this saying is, to put in my pocket, walk in the woods, and never come home, and I couldn't have a fixed blade, it had to be a pocket knife. It would be this pocket knife. It's a perfect size. It's um, it's just perfectly built for hard use, for doing anything you need it to do, from cleaning an animal to batoning wood if you had to. Is it perfect at any of those tasks? No, but it will do them all, and it will hold up while doing it. So I absolutely love this thing. I think you would too. If you're in the market for a good hard use knife, I don't think there's any reason to spend more than what the Cold Steel Format Scout costs. So, yeah, go out there and get you one, guys. Even if you don't carry it every day, this is an excellent uh, truck knife, something to put in your glove box or your car, whatever. If you're ever in a bad situation, um, and you need a cutting tool, this is a great one to have. Um, in emergencies, I don't believe you're going to need a super slicey thin blade. However, with this, it cuts well enough. You can cut somebody out of a seat belt, whatever you need to do with it. So I highly recommend it, guys. I'm glad that I purchased it. I just wanted to do this follow-up video because all I did was my first impressions on it. Still in love with it. So, yeah, guys, that's all I got for you today. You guys know I appreciate any amount of time you spend with me. Peace. Love y'all.